Hi everyone, Tyler Manion here, FBC and IFBB Pro League Vice President. And this will be your Texas Pro recap for wellness, brought to you by Wolfpack. So in first, we had Lisa again. Lisa, again, brought a very, very impressive package to the show. The main things that she can work on are, one, she was just a little bit on the hard side when it comes to conditioning. So that overall fullness, conditioning-wise, just needs to be a little bit fuller, a little bit softer than what she brought here and also in Tampa. So that's the main thing she needs to do. The second thing I would say is in the back post, she pushes her quads out, not with her hands, but just the way she positions her legs. She pushes her quads out to really over-exaggerate that sweep we see from the back. She doesn't need to do that. She has enough development. She actually, is the right size, muscularity-wise in the lower body. So she doesn't need to do that. She can pose that more natural. I think that will actually make her back pose look better, especially with the top girls at the Olympia. Other than that, I think she's really molded her physique into what we want to see in wellness. You see a very nice hourglass shape to her. She poses very well overall. And her glutes and legs are really in proportion to each other, like they should be. Her glute development is very, very good, definitely on the elite level in the world. And the upper body is definitely not balanced with the lower body. It is much smaller. She's not overly muscular in the upper body. And she is definitely one of these girls that is going to be pushing to make that first call out in top 5 at the Olympia this year, which I think for wellness, it's going to be a much deeper show than it has been in years past. I think if you make that first call out, you're going to see, depending on how many we call out, you might see a couple of girls that are extremely good competitors that don't make it in there. So she's going to be one of the competitors vying for that, and it makes me that much more excited for wellness at the Olympia this year. In second, we had Cass. So basically the same feedback I said from Tampa. She still needs to streamline the muscularity down more. That's in her upper body and also in her lower body. She doesn't need to decrease the size of her glutes, but the leg size needs to decrease for sure. She's done a good job bringing the waistline in, but can still bring it in a little bit more. I think she made some posing changes here to try to not pose as big. I think that helped, but I also think that size-wise, she just needs to come down more, needs to be streamlined. As you just compare it to Lisa, you see she's just much bigger overall. So obviously she's taller than Lisa, but I'm not talking about height-wise. I'm talking about overall muscularity and the way it's displayed and looked on stage. So, you can be taller, you can be shorter. It's all about how that muscle looks on your body. Also being compared to the rest of the competitors around you, and she just needs to downsize for sure. And third, we had Jasmine. Really for her, it's more overall glute development. Definitely could see some more to her upper glutes, adding more depth to her glutes as well. Size-wise, I think she is the correct size, muscularity-wise, when it comes to the lower body. Also, when it comes to the upper body, you see her upper body is smaller than the lower body. It's not too muscular. It's not too big. So really, she doesn't have to work on adding size anywhere other than improving her overall glutes. If she does this, then I think it will make her a very, very dangerous competitor. Conditioning was better definitely here than it was in Tampa. I would say she's on the right track for that. And I know she's going to do another show this year, so she will be a tough out for sure for people. She has a very, very competitive physique. In fourth place, we had Grecia. For Grecia, the same feedback that I gave her from Tampa, which would be continue to bring the waistline in. She needs more detail to her midsection as well. Those are the main things. Need to do that because we need to see more of an hourglass figure to her physique in both the front pose and the side poses. That's going to make the biggest difference to her physique right now. Her legs are a very good size. She doesn't need to add more density or muscularity to her legs. Her glutes, she has a very, very good back pose, especially when she's set in it, but she can also add a little bit more depth to those glutes so they don't flatten out as much when she's doing the walk. So those are the main things for her. I think she's had a very good season so far, and hopefully she can try to earn that qualification at the last couple of shows this year as well. And overall, that's the recap for wellness. This will be your Texas Pro recap for figure. So in first place, we had Jessica. And this was by far the best Jessica has ever looked, which is definitely impressive considering she keeps improving as she gets older, which is crazy to see. I think her physique overall was a little bit more streamlined than it was last year, but with the conditioning and the overall fullness that she brought, also I think she posed much, much better as well. This was her best physique to date. You see, she also improved her back. I think the width and also the detail she displayed in her back pose, specifically in her back, was much better than it's ever been. Size-wise, I think she's right where she needs to be for figure. Conditioning-wise, this is figure conditioning. So if you guys want to see what you need to do for figure conditioning, right here, look at how Jessica looked at the show. This is what we want to see. It's right in line with the conditioning that Sid brings to the Olympia. And obviously, this is her biggest threat, her biggest challenge. And I think for Jessica, her waistline somehow improved a lot more. It looked like the waistline was brought in, which enhanced her taper both in the front, the side, and the back poses. So I would not change a thing if I was Jessica going from this show to the Olympia. And I think it's going to be her most competitive package to date to try to go against the best ever figure competitor that we've seen in Sid. So we see some excitement there, and it should make the Olympia exciting with the improvements she was able to make. So I'm excited to see that. In second place, we had Lena from Germany. And Lena's had a great season so far, obviously racking up a couple different wins. For her, she's still just a little bit too hard with the conditioning in the lower body. For her, she's been still making progress show by show. She before would come in much too hard in her lower body. I think she's getting much better at getting closer to that perfect figure conditioning and nailing it. With her physique, the next thing is you can see compared to Jessica, she just needs more of those details to shine through in her back for the back pose. So physique-wise, it's the conditioning and it's that. And then the final thing would be posing-wise. She poses, I would say she over-poses just a little bit too much. You see she over-poses with the way she holds her arms and her shoulders in both side poses. She can relax that a little bit more. I think it will help her give a more balanced look between the upper and the lower body. It will also help her taper her waistline if she's able to fix the arm positioning a little bit more in those poses. And then in the back pose, she does not need to flex her glutes as much and throw her legs so far out to the side. Kind of takes away from where she needs to be in that back pose. So if she can fix those things, I think it will enhance the look of her physique. And I think she's going to challenge to move up in the Olympia this year from what she did last year. In third place, we had Mandy. So for Mandy, she was just a little bit soft conditioning-wise in the lower body. She needs to be a little bit more conditioned. And overall, she can make improvements to her back, some more depth, some more detail, and a little bit more width as well. But overall, I think she has a very competitive physique that she can keep making some changes to step up in shows moving forward. Then in fourth place, we had Nelly. Nelly also can be a little bit more conditioned overall with her physique. I think the main thing that she can work on is adding more to her legs and her glutes. She needs just a little bit more muscularity and fullness there to balance out her physique. She can also work on shrinking the waistline a little bit more, controlling the waist while she's posing, and still making her back into more of a strength. But the shape and structure are all there. I think these are just small changes she needs to make, and that can make herself much more competitive going forward.